Fantasy art history with Abelard and Joe. Hey Joe.
Oh, hey Abelard, you ready to do it?
Yeah, sounds so good. Is everything okay?
I've been a little under the weather. It's okay though. I went to one of those strip mall clinics.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not feeling too good. And then they were like, here, just sit down in this waiting room.
Yeah.
There's a small child here. They're going to cry off and on. And we've got a huge television set, and it's showing something called American Ninja Warrior. You ever seen this show?
I've never watched it, but it has met my eyes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've walked through rooms where it was on.
Yeah, it could have been worse. I could have had to watch the news or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, those guys, they can really swing from a number of brightly painted gears over a pool of water, and they run up a wall straight up, that sort of thing.
It really makes you want to do it, right? It looks really fun to me.
Here's the thing. When you're in the waiting room of the strip mall clinic and you're already feeling pretty rough, it's like watching Aliens. You don't actually want to do it, because like right when that's happening.
When you say it's like watching Aliens, you don't mean the movie Aliens.
No, it's like you can't imagine being in a position to do it, that sort of thing.
Oh, sure.
Even more than usual, because like right now, I feel better because I got some antibiotics.
Yeah.
But this morning I was like, wow, I can't believe I made it to the strip mall clinic.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I made it out here. That was a big effort for me this morning. Thank God they didn't put in any obstacle courses or
pit of water,
zip lines, pit of water, ladder made out of sticks that you have to leap up using some weird device. Phew.
Yeah. Give me just a second. The camera's a little messed up. Oh.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Technical difficulties.
We just want your viewing situation to be so good. That's right. Well, here we are again. It's the Joe Show. Got any tips or tricks for Joe, a sock who's not feeling it too? Oh, hey, it's outside again.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah, that should be better.
What about you, Abelard? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Feeling well. I just went on this work trip. I've been working remotely lately, so we kind of met up with some of my colleagues, which is crazy because it's like.
Did they know about you? Like that you were really a sock?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I figured I should just come clean about it. I should just talk about it. Like, I should slip it into conversation.
Right.
So it's not this big surprise,
So they weren't just like, oh, we thought you were just doing that for the Zoom.
Yeah. No, I've been pretty straightforward about that, so that when we all met up, then it was like pretty relaxed.
They were cool. That's good.
Which was good because it turned out my coworker, Abhay, was he didn't tell everybody.
Oh.
And he had reached out to me privately, but everyone was making kind of a big deal out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you made it back. Did you get a lot of work done?
Yeah. Oh, we did team building exercises. It wasn't as much a get a lot of work done type trip. It was like what's the plan for Q3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's your team?
Everybody's nice. It's great. It can be hard to move past the small talk stage of stuff like this because we can really only talk about work stuff per se. You don't want to get too wild and woolly, which is why I'm so glad we're talking about what we're talking about today. Let's get into it.
Okay. Let's do it. Okay, so this is a special broadcast from Fantasy Art History with Abelard and Joe.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a uniquely topical, up to the moment presentation that we're doing, and what we are talking about is sex in RPGs.
Yep.
Is it good?
I'm not going to be sharing this with the gang in Slack. They're not going to hear about this.
Is it okay to have it? Is it okay to draw pictures of it? How do you do it good?
Yeah. What's topical about this?
Okay, well, So I'm a little. I'm not uncomfortable about the sex part of this. I am literally only uncomfortable about the topical part of this.
Yep.
Because that's not usually my thing. I like to talk about art that's about 5,000 years old, so that no one who has painted it could possibly be mad that I said something about how they, drew a pig or whatever.
Yeah.
However, we will instead not be doing that today. We're talking about to begin with, there is a new RPG that's it's raking in the cash.
Selling like hotcakes.
Oh my god. Everyone of a certain type, they just love it. They want
Yeah.
it to have all of their money.
Yeah.
They're so into it. And it's really funny because you go to their Kickstarter page, and the Kickstarter page is like, this isn't your kids' D&D.
And just so that we're not being coy, this is called Death Shit. I have said it the wrong way so much as a joke that I forgot. Is it Deathbringer?
I believe it's Deathbringer, not Death Seeker,
or Death Dealer. I think is what I was saying. I think that's the Frankfurt etiquette.
It's the other thing.
Deathbringer.
It does. What other things start with death that you could attach to that? Have they all the good ones been used up? Death Haver, Death Taker.
Death Haver is kind of fun. We're all Death Havers in a way. Eventually,
we're all.
But because there's
Death Haver will get us in the end.
There's Death Dealer and there's Stormbringer. This is also like, if you ever look at the Brandon Sanderson shit that's incredibly popular, he loves a fantasy 2-word derby colliding two unmemorable ideas.
Yep.
Oathbringer.
Oath Taker.
Surge Binder.
Oh no.
The Shadow Pact.
That sounds boring.
Bright Lord. Ooh. High Storm. Anyway.
Sounds like warrior cat names.
Anyway. But Deathbringer is the real one. It's phenomenally popular on Kickstarter or whatever the equivalent of Kickstarter. Backer Kit?
Yeah, whatever.
And its premise, I think it's basically making 3 premises in its copywriting. 1, we're going back to the way things used to be.
Yeah.
2, this is darker and edgier than ever before.
Nothing has ever been this edgy, not even Mork Borg.
And 3, this one's going to be real sexy.
It's so sexy.
Yeah.
Would you like to get a little gander at some of the sexiness that they got on offer in Old Deathbringer?
Yeah, take me there.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Get ready. You don't have to cover your eyes. It's not really that high octane. Maybe cover your eyes right now as we undergo another round of technical difficulty. Okay, here we go. Okay, and just to be clear, all right, so going in, we're going to be a little more critical here. Our intent is not to like try to bury this person or do this like horrible critique or like make them feel bad. We also don't know who this is, particularly this artist.
No, they credit like 5 different artists.
They credit a lot of artists, so they're pretty meticulous about crediting their artists, which we appreciate. I don't know who this is. Whoever this is, I'm not digging on you. But there are some issues with some of these images, and we're going to talk about them and kind of use them as a lens to talk about the larger project.
Yep, the larger project being like, what is the place, and how is the idea of like should we have sexy ladies in our RPG?
Yeah.
And how do we do that if we want it? And personally, I think it's fine to want that. I think we should have sexy ladies in our RPG, and also some sexy dudes and some sexy people of indeterminate gender. I think it gets what gets tricky for me, and it goes outside of what's in the rule book. Mm-hmm. But if you think about actually playing the game, I'm sitting down with you, I'm sitting down with some of our friends, and we're role playing. Maybe I'm DMing. Mm-hmm. The person who your hand belongs to, by the way, is starting to clip into the right side, so you might want to fade out. Perfect. But I'm thinking about DMing and saying like, a sultry thief saunters towards you. Mm-hmm. Is that a little weird?
A slit reveals her rippling,
whatever.
Body
what do you
parts.
call that part of the body?
And she's wiggling her moneymaker like she's in a Ludacris video.
Yeah.
Hello, adventure, she says, cocking a sultry eyebrow. Anyway, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't, even people that I'm, involved with. I don't really want to get. I don't really want to have sexual type. But maybe
Yeah.
that's a me thing. We were
It
talking
might
about
be a you
this.
thing.
Like it's not. We don't like people's actual RPG play experiences. Like if you think about the aggregate of all the D&D that anyone has ever played,
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of a dark zone. It's not well documented. We don't really know what went on aside from like a handful of reports.
Yeah, if this is a throwback to the good old days, well, is it?
Is it?
Yeah. What were they doing back then?
Yeah.
Was old Mr. Gygax, was he in there pretending to be a barmaid?
Yeah.
Was she, and I think this is the other interesting question here, because this game, if you are not aware of it and have not been to their backer kit page, you should know that, well, all of the women look like this. All of the men are exclusively like fully clothed big burly guys.
Yeah.
So this game is very, very specifically doing an extremely gendered,
Yeah.
making a very gendered decision about who is a sex object and who is not.
Yeah.
And it is right down the line. And that what that makes me think is that in this game, this game does not care if women play it.
This game is for the fellas.
This game is for the boys.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you're playing D&D with the boys, like, are you gonna if you're gonna be a thief, are you gonna be this lady? Are you gonna pretend to be this lady? What does that mean for you?
Yeah.
How does that
like,
make you
is
feel?
Mike gonna be the barmaid and I'm gonna be like chatting her up?
Are we gonna be flirting? Am I gonna be flirting with my buddy that I drink a beer with on the weekends?
Which is fine.
Which is fine and interesting, and I think that
Barbara Kruger image flashes up for the.
Yeah,
it's fine, but it's complicated.
It's complicated, and I think that a lot of this. I think we're bringing this up because I think that a lot of the ideas espoused in the. Well, I haven't read the game, but in the copy about the game, a lot of these ideas have to do with, just really basic, like, straight up, like, I'm a dude, I'm a man, this is the masculine way to play D&D, this is how it is, get ready for it.
Yeah.
And if you look with clear eyes at what is actually being proposed that you play here, it's not really very traditionally masculine behavior to, like, pretend that you are a woman.
Yeah.
Imaginatively
that's
with your
traditionally
male friends.
frowned on among the fellas.
Yeah.
You say you haven't read this game, but there are 4 words at the top of this image that you could read. Thief, Master of Shadows. So from the fact that that's like the dullest possible thing you could say about a thief, and also not really, it's one of those things that's both a really straightforward cliche, maybe the first thing you would think of, and also not really all that descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of wonder if the rest of the text is like that.
Sometimes
from the write-up on the backer kit, it also kind of seems that way.
Is it okay that maybe there are people that they just want the cliche?
Yeah, it is. That is absolutely fine. But that stuff has to be invigorated over time by genuine imagination, or it becomes totally effete and pointless. Someone has to come through and come up with some new shit to say about thieves.
Yeah, occasionally. And this brings up, so I'm going to start talking about this art in particular now.
Let's go in
there. The cliche that bothers me here particularly is not the lady in her clothes. It's that in the world of this game, it's supposed to be this like uniquely grim and dark and terrifying world, but the world that she is standing in is like bog standard regular style D&D. It's kind of medieval. Like it's kind of
Middle Ages,
early modern.
Yeah.
There's some like church towers. It looks like they got pane glass windows. Looks pretty nice, actually. Look at all their roof tiles. They're really like in good order and everything. I mean, I guess it's
got
like
a big moon over there.
It's crazy that you might meet a thief on the roof, but like that happens in regular D&D too, and it's just kind of nice over there. So that seems like a mild disappointment.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of this sort of lack of actual thought about the setting carries on into your
like if you look at this whole image, this tells you nothing about the game that it's in. This whole thing is like deeply generic.
Yeah, it could be anywhere. It could be in any game. The
Yeah.
distinguishing thing is that it's like this pinup pose.
Yeah.
That is the main thing that sets this apart from any other D&D like drawing that I've seen recently. And so
Yeah.
I mean maybe that's fair. Like they're like, it's okay, you like pinups, we're giving you a pinup.
Yeah.
This isn't a good pinup, really.
I don't think this
I
is a
don't
good
think
pinup.
this is a good pinup. I got nothing against pinups.
Yeah.
So
It's a pinup, but it's like the it's like if thieves tool manufacturers had a wall calendar they sent out to vendors, like this is what it would look like. Like you can't really make any sense of her pose.
No.
Right? It's not like she's doing anything in particular with the stuff that she has. And it's not like you've captured her getting started to do any kind of thievery. She's just posed up. But then she's holding these like accoutrements, like, fantasy cliches that thieves have like a small dagger and they have some rope that you do thief stuff with. But then her outfit is completely nonsensical. And I don't mean in a way that's like, oh, this is unrealistic and it should be more so. It doesn't communicate anything.
No.
It's not really sexy. Like there are these cutouts, but like the cutouts don't really do anything. But it's also not. It doesn't really seem like armor. It doesn't seem like clothing. It doesn't seem like costume.
No.
It doesn't tell you anything about this character. You can't imagine anybody really putting this on, and it doesn't really work as like ornament.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of it.
It's a weird thing to think about because this is one of the guys you can play. You can play a thief, Master of Shadows in the game. And we talked about before how the images of the player guys that you might be able to play in the game, that's like a big part of you want to be that cool guy. I want to be that cool fighter, that cool thief.
Yeah.
But she's not like she's not really doing a cool thing. She's posed in this vulnerable sort of sexy manner that it would be really hard to figure out a sequence of events that would lead to someone standing this way in a sort of battle or thievery situation.
Yeah. She kind of looks like a theft influencer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to pop over and see her do some other stuff?
Yeah, let's see if we have an action shot of this.
Yeah. Let's get into the action shot.
Here we go. There she is. Hey, oh, no, here we go.
Yeah.
Combat.
All right. So the lady on the left, I don't have that much of a problem with.
No,
I think as an example, like when I talk about like I don't mind it in practical costume. I love that in practical costume. I think that's very solid. You can totally imagine this lady seducing Conan the Barbarian. I think it's totally fine.
I will tell you what my problem with this image is, and it's very small and specific. If you zoom in on the lady in the cool red robe, you will see that she's being caught around the neck by the thief's lasso.
Yeah.
That's fine. Look at what her hair is doing. There's no way that your hair would not also get caught in that lasso. And it may seem like I'm doing a dumb nitpick here, but I promise this is legit because this is an image. Like all you get from the image is what's there. And as a person looking at this image, or drawing it, you would hope that, in the process of drawing it, you would use your imagination to imagine these people are real in a physical space and that the actions they do have physical consequences.
Yeah.
Plus, think about this. Imagine this picture. If the lasso going around this lady's neck, if it caught her hair, so you had a curving swoop of hair, but then some of it was lashed to her own neck, and think about how that would look kind of alarming and violent, and have that would you would imagine looking at that oh my god, it would be so scary to have that happen to you. It would pull on your hair, it would make you feel a certain way. And
also for the freaks out there, they might also find that sexy.
They might find that sexy. Yeah. So the fact that the artist has not thought about that and not done it, and then instead of that has just done this thing that physically could not occur.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing. to
Also
me.
in the zone of like physically could not occur is like that rope is slack between the neck and the hand, even though both of the people are pulling on it, right? The
Yeah,
tension of the rope is the thing that would sell you on the whole image.
yeah.
There's a lot of like this there's a lot of like subtle trouble in the way this whole thing is composed. Like
Mhm.
the sort of like like yellow and green light doesn't super interact with the way the characters are dressed.
Oh.
Like the thief outfit is that like Batman comic blue purple. Still, even though it would get washed out by the other color of light.
Hmm.
Uh and the whole thing, like, it has this like cutout paper doll effect where it's like we do this like atmospheric lighting that falls on all of the furnishings and stuff but doesn't really apply to the characters. um the pose of the lady on the left is pretty stiff. Like, people in like a common figure drawing tendency people have is just to draw the figure a lot more straight up and down, and this is definitely like that. The
Hmm.
character could be sort of bent backwards a little more. And then the thief's attitude, like, honestly, the big problem is that plinth or stone or whatever in front of her
Yeah.
leg. That really messes with everything.
They're both doing really exaggerated motions, but they both are, it's like the motions don't really
Yeah,
convey movement actually.
yeah.
Oh, and they're also like what you're calling for is more exaggeration almost.
Also, this kind of comes back to the fact, and you can see it in the that first painting too. Like, these are really like plastic models of people, right? If you look at like you know, classical statuary nudes, you can see the flesh and muscle sitting on top of itself. And if any of those in like an action pose, like with any stress on them, you can see the muscles working. And on these figures, you can't.
Yeah.
Their arms are tubes and their torsos are tubes. And like, when you are under stress and trying to yank a certain way, like, your muscles are doing something, and you can't see that in either figure,
No.
right? And if especially if you want to have like sexy art, the like we're talking about like human flesh here, so
Yeah.
you have to think about what the flesh is doing.
Yeah, but the human figure is one of the hardest things that there is in the entire world to draw because, as a human that looks at a lot of humans, anyone can look at a drawing and be like, "Oh, I can tell that that's wrong."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But when you're strangely and inconveniently when you're drawing it, you often cannot tell because your brain is doing a lot of work to be like, and in my imagination, it looks great,
Yeah.
and then you draw it and you're like, "Yep, looks like what it looked like in my imagination." And actually, what's happening is some little there's some filter in your brain that's like, yeah, it goes like that. I think that's good
Yeah.
enough. And so yeah, uh, this. I think we're gonna move on and look at like
Yeah.
some more art, so we're not just like picking on these the whole time. But in conclusion, I I think there's a sense that what we're getting in these two images and also in all of the rest of the sexy images they posted is just they're just
These are
kind of.
actually some of the better ones, I would say.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't pick the worst ones. They're just kind of like it's like they just have put out a blinking sign that says sex and it blinks on and off ever so often.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, like it's just like the signifiers of sexiness and not the signifiers of a lot of sexiness. Like
Yeah.
we're not
It's
everyone's nipples are fully covered here.
yeah, it's
Um
very tame.
it's very, very tame. And it's okay if what you want from your sexy art is for that it to be very tame. But it's also very funny if you're gonna put up this tamest sexy art in the world in a context of like,
Yeah,
you're
we're the tough.
we're the
Yeah.
oh, it's so don't come in the room right now. We're
Mom.
pretending to be a lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, specifically if you're gonna say like I'm gonna design the art of my game so that it makes people like that. Like we're saying, the role of a woman here is to be a sex object.
Yeah.
Which again, we picked some tame ones. You can go look at the other ones if you don't believe
Mm-hmm.
us. Um, Follow through on your swing, baby.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're gonna do it, you have to do it.
You gotta do it for real.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot of people there are a lot of incredibly talented artists making incredibly like sexy images out there. I don't think there's a lot that are making them in this sort of airbrushy D&D style.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like try something out new.
Yeah.
I guess is that's my pitch. I'm not even necessarily like, I wouldn't want to play this game, but I don't think it's wrong to want to play this game necessarily. It's
Yeah,
not
I
for
agree.
me,
I think
but
we
it's not
both
evil.
like the idea. I think for both of us, well, I'll just speak for myself. I
Mm,
think that sexuality is like a powerful motive force, and you could use it for storytelling.
yeah.
I don't really know how to work it into D&D in a way that's fun and doesn't make people feel gross. I think you
Hmm.
could, and I think it's totally valid to make RPGs where that's a piece of the puzzle. Like
Yeah.
all the sexuality in Conan is interesting.
Yep.
And the sexuality in like Jack Vance is really interesting.
Yeah.
So you can do that, but it more or less, but not this.
Yeah, do a better job. That's all
Yeah.
we're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look
All
at
right.
something that does it better.
Okay.
Yes. Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh
I'd like
boy.
to see a little. Yeah.
Dang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what's the context for this?
Well, this is, and actually, celebrated and highly respected games writer ZXU posted this. And that's where I saw it, and I thought, this is like my favorite painting in the world right now.
Yeah.
I think this is the best piece of D&D art I ever saw in my
Yeah.
goddamn life. So thanks, ZDX. This is from the old Dark Sun, and this is by a guy named Brahm, who did a lot of stuff that can only be described as straight up pinups, contextless, sexy ladies. You know, maybe they got a bug mask on, or maybe they're sitting on a throne, but this is like just pure pinup. And I love this painting.
Yeah.
And
we were talking about where I was talking about the paper doll art thing before, where you have like your background and then the figures seem like they're sort of pasted on top of this. These figures are in the setting that they are in,
yeah.
right? The light and the quality of atmosphere and the shadow all fall on all of these characters.
Yes.
They inhabit their environment. They're not on top of it.
Yes. Here's something that I noticed, and I'm really excited to look at this in comparison to the sexy thief we were looking at earlier, because this lady over there is doing almost the same pose as that thief was doing on the roof. She's wearing an equally ridiculous costume.
More so, even, I might say.
Why do I like this and I don't like the other one?
Yeah.
I've been asking myself this question basically all week. Why is this good and the other one is bad? Am I wrong? No. Here's why. Absolutely not.
Let's proceed from the idea that I'm not and build all my arguments from there.
Okay, here's question number one. Her outfit. This is a ridiculous outfit. Why do I like it better? Answer. Check out the curtain that she's emerging from. See those angular cutouts in the fabric of that curtain? See how they echo the shapes and cutouts of the fabric and the clothing that she's wearing? These two fabric objects come from the same material culture. She lives in this world. It makes sense that her clothes look like that. They're into these sort of angular, sort of claw-like shapes, and she's put on an outfit that takes on those characteristics because she lives in this world.
I think the other piece is that while this is like a very conventionally attractive body, it's also a strong body.
Yeah.
Like we talked about having muscle moving. There is muscle on this body, you know, that matters. And even though this is a pinup pose, it's a pinup pose in a pinup context, right?
Yep.
You feel like you're being invited into whatever's behind those curtains.
Yes, this is an image that invites me to imagine myself in the world.
Yeah.
The other images that we looked at earlier were only inviting me to stare at them from outside. But here my eye view is like, I can imagine myself standing across the street from these people.
Yeah.
I can imagine that woman coming out of that door and kind of looking at me and thinking like, am I cool enough to go in there with her?
Yeah.
She's just really scary.
Should I go into that lady's house, or should I better opt for getting killed, Allie?
And that's sort of like, imagine being able to have enough stuff in the image that imagining your way into it, thinking about the lives of these people and imagining what they're doing in this alley or in that room that she's just emerging from. Like that's role-playing games.
Yeah.
This is why we do it. I want to know what this lady's deal is. I want to meet her in a game. Anyway, Also, shout out to the incredible phallic joke that the lizard man is his clove, hysterical, really
Hmm.
funny. Love it. Uh the physicality of this world is nothing is floating here, right?
Yeah.
The sunlight is hitting the objects. The buildings are interesting. They have a style of architecture. Oh my god.
Yeah.
They have a style of decorative arts applied to the architecture. Whew.
Yeah, it counts for a lot. Like even on not on the lady's outfit, but on the outfits of the alley goons, you can see like where things are stitched together. Like it just feel, and not everything has to look like that. But to do the job of telling you like this is the world that you're in. This is what these clothes would feel like on your character's skin, right? I think that stuff is really valuable.
Yeah. Basically, I think this is a banger of a painting.
Hell of a
I love
painting.
it. I would hang it on my wall.
Yeah.
I would enjoy to look at it quite often. I love the light so much. So you might be wondering what's going on in the world of Dark Sun right now.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, um,
Yeah.
well, it's this.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of people getting killed, blood shooting all over every. I do think this does the job of telling you like this is a brutal world where everyone's killing each other. If that's the like kind of one-dimensional pitch for Dark Sun, which I think is originally has a little bit more of a complicated pitch. This does say like we're going a little gnarlier than regular D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also, like again, just to kind of come back to this idea, the lady at the back who has the giant spiky sword and is holding a skeleton with a spinal column still attached, or a skull with a spinal column still attached, like a Mortal Kombat fatality. She's wearing like the most revealing top of any of the characters we're ever going to talk about. This doesn't come across as sexual at all. It's not just
No.
about showing skin.
So in a way, it makes a point that the Deathbringer stalker guy was trying to make, which is that there's no sex in D&D anymore.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the old Dark Sun, that's pretty sexy. You look at this is like, well, that lady's got a little butt on her, it's not that sexy.
I don't really think, and I think this image is not setting out to be sexy, right?
No.
I think this is actually kind of doing the job. Like in this, if that was a shirtless guy in the back, you wouldn't say like, oh, that guy's shirtless, but it's not a sexy image, right? It's just saying like, this person is nude in a like savage power kind of way, and not nude in a sexuality kind of way.
Yeah.
The only thing I really have against this is, other than not having nearly as much character as the image we just looked at, is that none of the figures are really communicating at all. Like it's just a drawing of a bunch of people in poses, but none of them relate to one another.
Yeah, it's basically a large explosion. It doesn't. I can't see any. The clothes don't tell me much. The background is kind of nothing.
Yeah.
And it has.
But even in like in a what seemed to be a depiction of a big close up fight, no two figures are fighting with one another.
Right. Yeah, I think so. My theory about why this happens sometimes, why you get this like kind of pasted togetherness of this stuff, is so, and you can actually, if you would like to see this in action, if you go to the old Deathbringers Kickstarter, you can scroll down and there's a video of artists sped up artist process, in which you can see them like super fast, like cutting and pasting all of the images they've drawn and redrawn it. And this sort of digital workflow, which is something that like concept artists get taught how to do, I believe, mostly because they're trying to like create realistically rendered stuff, but super, super fast. It's because you're keeping everything on a different layer so that you can move it around, so that when the art director says, well, this is good, but can you move such and such thing over there or whatever, you can do it really fast. It does create a situation where instead of composing an image and thinking about how the things relate,
Yeah.
you kind of like come up with a bunch of guys and you move them around until they look right.
Yeah, you are like those first two, the Deathbringer images, and then this are all effectively collages, more or less. Like the elements, there are a lot of elements, but the elements don't communicate. It's not. I think broadly, everything in your image should work together to communicate whatever your image is doing.
Yeah.
They should communicate amongst themselves. They should work within the frame. They should work within the composition. They should work within the color scheme. That's really hard, but that's why art is hard, and that's why good art is so amazing.
Good art is really amazing. When it all comes together, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone does it. So the question that we were curious about is there any sexy stuff in D&D right now?
Yeah.
And well, here's the sexiest thing I was able to find. If you find a sexier thing in D&D, go ahead and just DM us.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what's going on with this guy?
Well,
what do we have here?
This is he's known as a drow favored consort.
Yeah.
And in the description of his life, it tells you that a drow priestess or like a powerful lady might have many consorts to do her bidding or to, lounge around, I guess. But this one is the favored consort.
Yeah.
And he does a little magic and he has a lot of stats or whatever. But so he's basically like a guy you keep around to like do your bidding and do a little magic.
Yeah.
And they're specifically in the text. They're always very beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think we can, this should be a really sexy picture.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Yeah. If you were given this assignment as an artist, you would be like, oh, I get to do a real sexy one.
Yeah.
He's got this. That's basically what he's around for, right? He's a consort.
So if I did this like in Dreamland, right?
Mm-hmm.
He would be reclining like an odalisque.
Yeah.
Like he would be like parting parting a set of curtains of like a 4-poster bed.
Probably cobwebs.
Probably more like cobwebs.
Probably more like
and like peering out at you, or like maybe it'd be like he was like surprised, and so he's like he's like leaping out of bed to like go kill you or whatever. But this is such an inert. This is the stiffest pose of all the stiff poses we've looked at so far. This one's really rough. He looks like he's like a DoorDash driver showing you the order on his phone. Like that's where that like.
Yeah, it says this is what you want. I don't know.
It says here.
Yeah.
Like this is an attractive. Whoever they used as a model or imagined has a great looking body and a great looking face.
Yeah, perfectly competently painted.
Cute haircut.
I don't think his clothes are good, but Abelard likes them.
Yeah, I like the mesh tank top, very much like Donnie Yen from Blade 2.
I do think it's funny that it's got a little spider web on it. Yeah. They just love their spiders.
They love spiders.
They just love them.
You don't like the gladiator sandals. I think they're kind of cute.
They creep me out, man. I don't know why.
I like that. You could barely see it, but there are these like delicate silver chains holding the vest together. Like I think the fit is good. It's such a here's my beef with a lot of this D&D art. These people, you can tell they don't think swords are cool, and you can tell they don't think it would be cool to cast a magic spell, and that's what D&D is about. Swords are cool, and casting magic spells is cool.
Maybe they're just, they're really imagining what it would be like for you after you've held a sword and cast a magic spell hundreds and hundreds of times. Yeah. It's old hat for him.
Walking around with my sword, casting my magic. Listen, buddy, do you want me to cast this spell on you, or what? Yeah. Yeah,
Abelard, you're totally right.
Yeah, not sexy, not exciting.
Not sexy.
A perfectly competent painting.
Yep. But it's not delivering it.
Yeah.
So there are people out there making really sexy paintings. I wanted to, for this episode, like keep us in the world of D&D specifically.
Yeah, like commercial pop art.
Yes. Not like nothing painterly, nothing too crazy, like stuff that has been published in part of one of these like massive corporate
stuff that can get sold in a Barnes and Noble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we were trying to figure out, and I do mean like if someone in this space is doing some really sexy art, please do comment about it because we'll like cover them later. I'm interested.
Yeah.
But what we did find is Abelard remembered some pretty great magic cards.
Yeah, that's right. It's time for Abelard's magic cards. One of these days we're going to record another jingle for that. But for now,
Abelard's Magic Corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's enthralling Victor.
My eyes are coming out like little like.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's the mechanical effect of the card. The idea is that this guy comes onto the battlefield and gets a weak guy of your opponent to come fight for you because he's so hot. And they really delivered. I think they really delivered.
Yeah, I think this is a great painting. I think it's also like it's kind of like ballsy that he's in shadow.
Yeah.
That the clouds behind him he's lit like you would light Jesus.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. But it's
Yeah.
still, even at like magic card scale, it's a totally legible image.
Yep. Yeah, the level one idea here would be to say, well, this is like the main figure, so I need to light them from the front and either like directly in front or to the side, and then I can have some people around him. But this guy's off to the side, he's backlit because yeah, he's the guy, everyone stares up at him.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking up at him from your perspective, which is about D height. And he looks phenomenal. First of all, just a great and a like kind of a relaxed contrapposto. It does feel a tiny bit more active than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
It's not pin-uppy, but it doesn't really intend to be. It's more like this is just how a hot guy carries himself, I would imagine.
Yeah.
There's so much work getting done by the little guys in the front, like the guy looking back and admiring him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're shocked and amazed.
Yeah.
Just like you would be.
Yeah.
You would be, if you were there, you too would be thinking, how is that sort of skirt loincloth staying up?
Yeah.
It looks like he's got a whole ass sword attached to it.
Yeah.
And it's still somehow clinging to those hips. This is good. This is amazing. He must have been chosen by the gods.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
Yeah. And like I just talked about, I think all the elements in a painting should work together. I really think the elements in this painting work together. Like it's a funny painting with a simple, silly idea, but all of the elements in the midground, all of the elements in the background work together. The foreground looks good. The figure looks good. All of the elements play off one another. The negative space is interesting. Yeah. But the color palette is really tightly constrained, but uses these really dark blacks to characterize everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible. Really, really, really good magic card painting.
Yeah.
Really great. If you would like a enormous print of this to hang above your couch.
And who wouldn't?
Yeah, that's available to you. I found it while looking for this picture. I
do think there's a bit that like they can put this guy on a magic card and it's a little more safe.
Mm-hmm.
Because like hot men are kind of like, just in like mass culture terms, hot men are kind of funny. Like this is a funny idea.
Yes, I think you're right.
But hot men, like really like a woman presented as sexually in the same way, I think would not play the same way to their audience, and so they don't feel like it would be safe for them.
No.
But what you can do
is last image. Here we go. It's a real treat.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And now what card is this on?
This is Thieves Guild Enforcer. The artist for the previous one was Winona Nelson, I think. The artist for this one is Evan Fong. I really like this.
This is a good ass painting.
And the thing is, like, the way that I noticed this painting is by playing with this card a lot. And every time this card came down, I would say, I really like that art.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked Abelard, what's the sexiest magic card you got? And he was like,
I don't know, Thieves Guild Enforcer, probably.
Thieves Guild Enforcer.
There are, like, if you go back and, like, look at some of the older ones, like, obviously a lot of especially the earlier Rebecca Guay ones, the Earthbind from Alpha, but, like, that's from the 90s, and so that is kind of the, like, mythical path that the Deathbringer stuff is talking about. I'm trying to think of stuff from the last, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. And so you might say, Abelard and Joe, what are you talking about? I can't even see this lady's tits.
Yeah.
And it's true. You can't. But what you can see is a very sexy knee. And what's that knee doing down there?
Yeah.
From your perspective, the viewer?
Yeah.
Is it about to slam into your throat, maybe?
Yeah.
Are you in bed right now? Is she about to murder you?
She has a look on her face like she would murder you.
Do you feel threatened but excited?
There's a hot girl in your bedchamber.
Yeah.
But she is wiping blood off of her knife.
But maybe...
And she's holding her knife with her robot arm.
She does have a robot arm.
Yeah.
Is she your friend? Is she your girlfriend? What if she was your girlfriend?
Yeah.
This is a successful piece of art because in this simple composition, it makes you ask these questions when you look at it. And the answers to the questions are interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what makes something sexy. It's being able to put yourself imaginatively into the world that it's presenting to you and think about how it might make you feel. This is a physical and emotional thing. It's not just about staring with your eyes. I think the sexiness of the pinups that we were looking at earlier were more of a display of power. I get to look, and the person I'm looking at does not get to do anything. Right. They just stand there.
They're posed for my looking pleasure.
Yes. Yeah. And all I want is the looking pleasure. I don't want any other looking pleasure. It's actually very cold, unemotional, unmessy, not physical at all. Yeah. No bodies, no danger. Just the looking. Yeah. Just want to look. This is art that is more for someone who wants to have an experience.
For what it's worth, I think you could do this exact same painting, but she's wearing like a billowing negligee or whatever, and you can see a lot more actual skin, and it would still be really effective. Yeah. I don't think I'm saying, and I don't think you're saying, the effective thing about this is that she's covered up. No. I'm saying we're more that the sort of like power of this image is totally unrelated to the like kind of paper doll what's actually being shown.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh wait!
Oh! Hang on. Hang on. Whoa! Just a sec. Just a second. We have to go. I have to go do something.
Everybody.
Hang on. Wait.
How's your week been?
An important.
We'll be right back. Maybe I'll try to just talk through this so I don't have to cut it later. Yep. So the weather's beautiful out here in Chicago. I guess everyone went to Gen Con this year. I heard it rained a lot and there was a tornado and stuff. I don't know. It sounds pretty dangerous. I don't know if I'm ever gonna go there. It sounds like it would be a little bit much for me, to be perfectly honest. But I'm glad everyone had a good time. In Indiana, the wilds of Indianapolis. I've never been there. I think I drove through it once on the way to a cave. Anyway, Abelard, are you coming back?
I think the idea that what an image can do is fire the mind. And I think that in that way, transmitting an idea like sexuality is only one of many effects that you can transmit, but they all have to happen the same way, which is by leaving room for interpretation and by transmitting a feeling rather than just a symbol. Anything else from you, Joe?
I think we've said it all here.
Yeah.
Thanks for spending a little time with me, Joe.
Yeah, and me, Abelard. And hey, listen, if you guys want this would be a great episode. We're usually more positive when we talk about stuff that's more remote. So if you want to have a big screaming argument in the YouTube comments, you're not going to have a better chance than here. Please come in, yell at me, yell at Joe. Joe won't see it and I won't see it. It's fine.
Yeah, we don't care.
Really, lose yourself. But until next time,
keep on dreaming.